Hey guys, this is Dan with Norba Design, and today this video is going to cover some basic SEO tips for 2019 and a good resource for getting started to actually make these updates yourself to get your website ranking higher with Google. So the first point we're going to touch on is user experience, and the first free resource here is going to be Google Analytics. It's completely free. You can download this whether you custom built website or if you're using WordPress. What it does is it just gives you a good overview of who is viewing your website and what's happening once they view it. So where are they viewing it from, which part of the country, which area, and it gives a good feel of exactly high-level data of what's going on once they land on your site. So from an SEO perspective, the thing we want to look at for user experience besides views and those obvious stats is what are people doing when they actually land on your page. So this first stat here, bounce rate, this is going to tell you the percentage of users that land on your page only viewing one page and don't interact with any other pages or anything else on your website. So obviously the lower that is, the better. The next one here is session duration, and this gives you an idea of the average time that somebody spends on your website. What this really does is this tells Google which websites people are finding useful, which ones people are spending time on, and obviously they're going to promote those and they're going to rank those higher with their algorithm. So the next one here is pretty straightforward. This is an SSL certificate. As you can see here, using the example of just Apple's website, you can see here it mentions HTTPS and it says your connection is secure. So recently Google Chrome made a switch, I think it was recently in end of 2017 or 2018, where what they're looking for is they want an SSL certificate. What this really started out as was a more secure way for websites that might have collected payment information or had a lot of customer data. Now they made it a more important factor and definitely an SEO factor that you see that's pretty common for people on the top page, Google. And this is something that Google even admits themselves that they're looking to promote websites that have this safe connection, and they want to punish those. In the next example here, where it says not secure, I've seen other error warnings come up. So if you have a new client looking into your website and they're getting error messages such as this, obviously there's a good chance that that's going to deter them away. It's going to make them go to another site. There are a lot of free resources for this. It really depends on what hosting you're using. If someone else built your website, I would speak to them about it. If you know who's hosting your website, like GoDaddy, some other ones like that, it's a little bit more pricey. They try and charge around $100 or so. But there are free resources out there, and you could always pay someone on Fiverr or someone who might know a little bit more about that to set that up. So the next one here deals with the speed of your page. This is basically just how long does it take from start to finish to load the entire site. So this next free resource here is called GT Metrics. And what you do is you simply type in the website domain and it will give you a quick in-depth report to give you an idea of a page speed score and a Y-slow score. What it does is it explains each one in these tabs here, but the main thing you really want to look at is just get a feel for how long is it taking for your site to load, and is that going to be an issue based off of that alone? If it is, you can go down. Sometimes they'll say maybe your images are too big, maybe there's issues with the code in the website itself, and it kind of gives you a detailed audit report of exactly what's going on and how you can go about fixing that. So another big factor for 2019 for SEO is going to be mobile-friendly design. This isn't really a surprise to anyone, but as smartphone technology keeps advancing, as people are using more tablets, more mobile devices, obviously they want to encourage websites that are mobile-friendly. So this is a very simple tool. It literally just, you can Google the mobile-friendly test with Google. All you simply do is you put in the website domain and it will give you a report back like this. This is one that I ran for my business website for Norba Design, and it gives back a quick kind of indication of whether or not it's something that's going to be mobile friendly or you might have an issue with it. So the next topic here is going to be about backlinks. To keep it very simple, backlinks is just when another website links to or references to something on your website. So if you are in a directory, let's say you're in the Chamber of Commerce or you're in, let's say there's maybe a Yelp business page, if that links back to your website, that's one backlink right there. Obviously, depending on who's linking back to you, because each website has different scores. But you want to really, I guess, just see, do a quick check here with the backlink checker from Ahrefs, and I'll include the link to that in the description of this video. But this is going to give you a quick report, something like this, to say how many backlinks do you currently have, and here they are right here. So next one here deals with keyword planning. So keyword planning, very simple. It's just what are people typing into Google to find you? What are common things that people are searching? What is the search data for it? And how do you want to use that to your advantage? So for this example here, we'll use the example of a New York City accountant. So this free tool is the keyword planning tool that's in the Google AdWords. And once again, I'll include the link to that as well. What it simply is you type in different keywords and it will give you a detailed report right here for how many people are using Google to search for these specific terms. So we can look at accounting firms in NYC. It says here on average, 1,000 to 10,000 people are searching this each month. And it gives you a breakdown, competition, and this isn't something you really have to worry about unless you want to use Google's pay-per-click Google AdWords. The main thing we're kind of looking at here is just getting an idea of what the searches are for these terms, maybe other terms that you could think of that way. And it's just a good place to start to see which keywords you want to include in descriptions of your website, in the actual content itself, in headlines for your website, really just ways to incorporate that into what you're doing. So that way you get involved and you link back and start ranking for the keywords that are getting kind of the most clicks, like some of the ones in here where you see that. So last one here, this is really for people using WordPress, which is a large percentage of people on the internet nowadays. So this is Yoast SEO. I'm sure you're familiar with it or heard of it, not, but if you haven't, it's very straightforward. It's one of the best, I think one of the most downloaded plugins in WordPress, and it's going to offer a lot of really good free services to do a lot of things that we spoke about in the past in this video, and it will take you through that and give you a better idea of the more user-friendly way to go through those tabs. So that's it for this video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment on the video, and we'll be sure to get back as soon as possible. Thank you.